Uh, we'll get started with our celebration, and we have Mayor Kaler here to speak, and I think she has some introductions of some other people to speak. So we'll go ahead and get started because we've got this 5-lane blocked off.
Good morning. I have a couple of elected officials here. I think Commissioner Bartleman and Commissioner Wilson. Anyone else? Do you all want to come up here with me? Judge Leeper here? Yeah. Judge Leeper? He's coming up in a few minutes too. Well, I want to welcome everyone and thank you for attending this celebration. And it is a celebration of the completion of a major road project here in Paducah. The nuts and bolts of this project include the widening of Olivet Church Road to 3 lanes. There's a lot of other improvements that help the residents along here, and that's improved drainage, curbs, gutters, and sidewalks. The other section of the project stretches from the front of Kentucky Oaks Mall, where the New Hope Road intersects Highway 60, just past where we are standing. And we have a new 5-lane road that provides a safe, efficient way to move traffic around the retail, restaurant, and business hub. This project has many levels of value. We have a new improved roadway that allows visitors and residents to better enjoy the experience. We have better safety around the mall area. Plus, this project has opened up an area for increased economic development. And you already see construction projects going on around this road. But it's much more than a road project. It's a prime example of partnerships. And this partnership began many years ago when Danny Orzine was judge. So, it takes a while to get big projects done. They don't happen overnight. You may not have realized it, but the project is a state project with roadways in the City of Paducah, outside the city limits of McCracken County, and to coordinate all of these government agencies and to work with dozens of residents who provided easements, right-of-ways, access to the city, was placed in a position as the project administrator with the state providing the bulk of the funding. So I want to thank all of our county and state partners. Without all 3 entities, this project wouldn't have happened. We're here to celebrate 3 government agencies that work together for a common goal, and that's how you get things done, when you have partners that work together. So I have to give a hearty thank you to the state of Kentucky, the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet. Without the state funding, the project would not have been feasible. I want to thank all the local utility companies for working to get the utilities relocated for this project. There was a significant amount of work that had to be done before we even got out here to start the roadway. And I would be remiss if I didn't thank the neighboring business and business partners such as Cafaro Corporation. Even though a road project brings great access to businesses, the transition period during that process can be tenuous. So we understand and we wish all of these businesses increased prosperity and success. And I want to thank all the residents, we have a few here today, who worked with the City Engineering Public Works Department on numerous easements and access agreements. And one of the residents back here said they even got to use her water to mix the concrete. So that's another partnership that we have. I know you had a great deal of noise and dust, but hopefully you see the value of what you have now, especially with your sidewalks, and maybe even a bit of improvement to your neighborhood. I want to take this opportunity to show my pride in my city government. Being the project administrator on such a complicated project was not an easy task. To be successful in a project of this scale and complexity, the staff and all the elected officials needed to have the following traits: consistency, clarity, persistence, and continuity. I'm proud of the current elected officials and the previous mayor of the City Commission for believing in this project because it has been a long time coming. I'm also proud of the city manager, Jeff Peterson, city engineer Rick Murphy, and the staff of the Engineering Public Works Department. You've stayed on course to make sure we would be able to get to this point, a celebration. And I'd like for Rex Smith to come up, please. But I heard many compliments on you and your construction company. So I want to give Rex a big thank you. He made this project go so well. Thank you. So, do you want to say something today?
I thought you were going to say something. Is that all?
No, thank you.
Thank you. Very good. Thank you. Appreciate you.
So with this, I would like to introduce McCracken County Judge Executive Bob Leeper. Thank you.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here. Kind of a different situation. I tend to avoid these if all these projects were getting done before I came into term as county judge executive, because I don't like to take credit where credit's not due. But fortunately, this project started in 2002, and I was in the legislature when we were trying to get funding for it, so I'll play that role today. And there's been several different people in different roles in this project. There's been several governors through the time of this project. There's been several highway engineers through the time of this project. There's been a couple of different mayors through the time of this project, and several, I think we started with Danny Orzine, and several county judge executives leading up to me. I was the state senator when we were starting. I think Stephen Rudy, I think at one time he represented part of this project, but I don't know if he does anymore. His district's changed in all that time. So it's a very long, arduous process to get something like this completed, and it's a credit to this community that we're here today to cut the ribbon on a beautiful access to a thriving area. I had a gentleman in my office this morning from Zaxby's, which part of this will dump into his area over here. He's getting ready to open up Monday, I believe he said, for those of you all who want to try it out Zaxby's. A lot going on out here. The mall folks are here today to talking about all the things that they're doing, and it's all because of access. People want to be out here. People want to shop out here. People want to congregate out here, and giving this access is critical to making that happen. So thank you to those like Danny who had the foresight, and those who came before us, Mayor, but thank you for all those in between who had the tenacity to stick with it, get it done, and give Rex the business, and pull through on a great project, and do this for the community. Speaking of district highway engineers, our next speaker is our current district highway engineer, somebody who I thoroughly enjoy working with, a straight shooter, and somebody we can count on to make our case in Frankfort. Mike McGregor, come forward and say a few words.
Thank you. I just wanted to thank everyone for allowing me to be a part of this today. As was mentioned, this project kind of, the money came through the state, but certainly there were other entities that kind of took the ball and ran with it in terms of administering the contract. And so really on behalf of Governor Matt Bevin and Transportation Secretary Greg Thomas and our state highway engineer Patty Dunaway, I just want to congratulate the whole project team for a great project. As was mentioned, I mean, this project has been through lots of challenges from the time of its inception, and throughout a variety of highway plans and varying agreements with the state and city and county governments, and through steadfast leadership with county, state, and city officials, we're here to celebrate this. And the 5-lane road that you see right here and the improved 3-lane route just over there are great improvements to our local transportation system, and so we should celebrate something like that. I want to thank Rick Murphy. He's the one that I deal with the most in terms of the city, and it's a pleasure to work with him. He and I have a great working relationship, and I know that throughout the years and changing of administrations and chief district engineers and all that, he was kind of the person that spanned from beginning to end, and so he has all the scars to show it. So thank him for all that work. Also I would like to echo that Rex Smith, Brian McReynolds, and all the other folks with Jim Smith Contracting did an outstanding job on this project, as well as all of their subcontractors to get this project done. And so I think they should be commended very highly for this work, because it's not easy. It's not easy to deal with all the traffic movements and phasing and try to not interrupt people as much as possible. And kind of on that note, in closing, I would say that it's a very exciting time for our highway district in terms of all the projects that we have going on, whether it would be the Interstate 69 work that we have going on, or the bridges over Kentucky Lake or Lake Barkley, future work that we have planned out here on US 60, you know, with the interchange and some other work to try to, you know, improve some of the congestion out here. And so, you know, the traveling public frequently are faced with orange barrels and flaggers and road closed signs and things like that. And I would just ask that everyone exercise patience as we work to try and improve our system, and take comfort in the knowledge that increased mobility and economic growth are just around the corner. So with that, I thank you again for allowing me to be here.
So now I would like to bring Rick Murphy up, our city engineer, to have a few words about this project that he's worked on for how long now, Rick?
14 years.
14 years.
It's a good day for somebody like myself to be here, again, celebrating this project. A lot of folks have been thanked. I cannot thank enough people for their cooperation, the residents and so forth, the businesses. 14 years of building a relationship with individuals and businesses has been a great thing for me. There's one person I do want to recognize, and that's the person behind, I guess, my office, and that's Angela Weeks. Angela's decided to stay on this project. She's had as much invested in this or more than I do. She's the person behind my office that keeps the records and the paperwork. We have about 2 filing cabinets on this project, and so I want to recognize her for her work. Talk a little bit, I know everybody's interested in money sometimes, and we'll talk about money. This project is approximately $10 million from beginning to end. Of that, the state has $8.2 million in it. The city has a little over $1 million in that. And then we have some utility companies that are involved as well. So we would like to thank our utility companies also, as far as our railroad industry that has worked with us through this project. But as far as the contract dollars, this is something that myself and others would like to celebrate. We have what we call bid to did. You have engineers' estimates that give you a target. Then you have a bid amount that, okay, we think we can do it for that with Smith Contracting. But then you have the did amount. And what I want to celebrate today is that even though we had 36 adjustments, I'm going to say, to make on this project, out of those 36 adjustments, there were improvements to people's front yards as far as the drainage. Some things weren't working. Uncooperative soils, uncooperative weather. Of 36 adjustments that added the enhancement of this project, we managed to get this project done about $100,000 under the contract amount. So with that being said, let's go cut a ribbon.